Here we go again. You are off to such a good start, doing everything right. 10 down, now 15 more to go to reach a healthy weight. But now, nothing you're doing works. You hit a plateau. New York Times bestselling author Dr. Ian Smith can help you get unstuck and reach the next level in your weight loss goal. In his new book, The Last 15, Smith says you can lose those stubborn pounds in just 7 weeks. Good morning.
Good morning.
Great to see you again.
Always.
This is right.
This is a yearly thing. I have to see you every single year, at least once or twice a year.
18 years.
I know, it's been a long time.
It's enough time to have risen a child
and when
to become
are you
an
going
adult.
to age, by the way?
When am I going to? Yeah, you're so sweet. Thank you very much. How about never?
Okay, I like that.
All right, Dr. Smith, you're a medical educator, and you've had education and training from Harvard, Columbus, Pritzker, and Dartmouth. Okay, do you think you like education?
Well, that was the old me.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to make that education and put it to good use, as my grandfather
But
would
that's
say.
the great part about this, and kind of how it happened organically is that because when you know someone's a doctor and you have that kind of background, we all start asking you questions. Any health issue we have, we call you and go, Ian, listen, right? And so many people were asking you about weight loss because it's such a mystery, even though there's more information out there today than ever before, it's still such a mystery for so many of us, that you decided, let me just go ahead and put it down in a series of books so that people can utilize that information.
Well, when I was a columnist for Time magazine, I learned very early in my career that I would be writing a story about Tylenol or about the flu epidemic, and people were emailing me about weight loss.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted to know about weight loss, and doctors at the time were not educated in nutrition at all, zero. And so I had to teach myself.
What's interesting to that point, because it's almost like they were educated in what to do when nutrition goes bad.
Exactly, but not to help people figure out how to change their nutritional choices. So that's why I really started writing books about weight loss, about nutrition, about fitness. This particular book, The Last 15, came about because so many people would say to me, I've been losing weight for a while. All of a sudden the scale stopped and I got 10 to 15 pounds, I can't get it off.
Yeah.
And I try to explain to people that a plateau when you're losing weight is actually a good thing. They said, what? It's a good thing because it's your body saying, you've been beating me for all this time. Now I'm fighting back.
Pumping the brakes.
That's right. So because your body does not want to burn energy. The body naturally wants to hold on to energy. That's the natural state for the body. So if you make it lose weight and burn fat, it's expensive to the body. So when people plateau, it's because the body says, I now know the defense to your offense.
Yeah.
And so I tell people, it's not that you're doing something wrong, you have to do a different right, which is The Last 15.
Okay, and what I love about your books is we've called them diet books before. I don't really see them as diet books, I see them as eating books.
This is definitely not a diet. I mean, this is not about throwing everything out of your cupboard or your pantry or your fridge. This is about how do you take what's already probably in your house and put the nutrients together so that you are stabilizing your blood sugars, resetting your metabolism, and then helping your body get primed to burn fat.
Yeah. And before we get into some of these examples here, the other thing that you have been adamant about in your book, you can read information all day long, unless you include recipes, you explain things simply to us, because people will pick it up and not use it, but you make it easy for us to follow along.
Well, listen, we're in a tough time right now, and people want recipes that are easy to make, fast, that are affordable. Food is so expensive everywhere in the country. So all these recipes are easy, they're affordable. There are 10 options for each meal. So if you're a vegetarian or a carnivore or a pescatarian, this is flexible for everyone. And what the funny thing is, I've learned from my Facebook group, I have a Facebook group, I always do this, where people are doing it together. It's called The Last 15 Group, so please join the group. People are actually not just posting recipes, but they're telling me, my whole family's doing it.
Yeah.
Because it's regular food.
Because you can. It's
because
regular
you can.
food.
It's regular food. There's nothing extreme. Extreme measures, by the way, may give immediate results, but they're not sustainable.
Yeah.
And I want people to lose weight and feel good for the long term.
All right, so breaking through that plateau.
Yes.
I know we've talked before about something called body confusion. Is this what this kind of does?
This does is every week we do something different. So week 1, we're working on your metabolism. So it's resetting your metabolism. Week 2 is about protein power, adding more protein to your diet. Most Americans are not consuming enough protein. Protein's good for weight loss. Week 3 is smart carb cycling. Everyone says, oh, carbs are bad for you. No.
What kind of carbs and how much?
That's right.
Yeah.
Bad carbs are bad for you, good carbs are good for you. And so every week of the plan, we talk about a different strategy, and you put all those strategies together, and people are doing well. I just looked at the Facebook group this morning. One woman posted 6.5 pounds down in 1 week. Wow. And they're eating.
Yeah.
So they're saying there's a lot of food in the plan.
People just, I think it's so hard for them to believe that. But
That's
I remember when I finally had to, because for a long time I kept going, no, there's no way. So I ate, when I eat a lot of food, I lose weight.
What, you know why though?
Yeah.
Because people think that if I eat just one meal a day, I'm going to lose weight. Yes, you will up to a point. Then your body switches. Your body goes into starvation mode because your body says, I don't know if I'm getting more calories.
Hold on to everything.
That's right. So it holds on to the fat rather than burn the fat.
Yeah. Some things you can do right away before you actually have to make your meal choices. Reassess your calories because you got to know what you're putting in your mouth, right? But also priorities like strength training. People put a lot into maybe like running and stuff like that, but strength training is so important.
People have to understand that muscle, and I'm not talking huge. Women don't want to lift weights. They don't want to have huge muscle, but the ability to have muscle not only boosts your metabolism, but it's also important because for functional reasons. So I tell people all the time, if you increase your lean muscle mass, you burn more calories while you're sitting. The reason why men tend to lose weight faster than women is not because men are better. Yeah. It's because men have more muscle mass, and muscle mass is hungry for calories, and it just burns through the calories.
Yeah, you'll burn calories while you're sleeping.
Absolutely.
I remember waking up in a sweat when I would just would be like, there we go. When I would be, I know we have a little fuzz in the mic. Is it my mic? Yeah. Okay, it's my mic. Okay. But yeah, so yeah, I would literally wake up in a sweat because I was literally burning calories.
And so, and the 3 quick things I tell people is, number 1, front load your calories. Put most of your calories before 2 or 3 o'clock in the day, because that way you have all day to burn off the rest of the calories. Eating a big dinner is not the way to go. And the second thing is, every meal, have a little bit of protein. Yeah. Not enough of us are eating enough protein.
Yeah, and I tell you, when sometimes I would get to the point where I would crave, like, if I could just have a bag of Cheetos. Life would be so good if I could just have a life. But if I ate the right thing, completely forgot about the bad thing.
But do you know what? Cravings happen a lot of times because your blood sugar levels are unstable. And what protein does is it stabilizes your blood sugars so you don't have the spikes of the sugar and the insulin hormone.
All right, let's go through some ideas of some good food.
So once again, there are 10 options for every, so these are just some of them, but for example, starting early in the morning with some yogurt, some antioxidants in your fruit, protein, nice yogurt. Here's the key with yogurt, by the way. Buy yogurt that has less than 6 grams of sugar, less than 200 calories, and at least 10 to 15 grams of protein. That's a good yogurt. Yeah. And then you can add a little bit of granola,
Because there are a lot of cute yogurts out there that really don't have what you need.
Right, exactly. So a yogurt is a great way to start lunch, okay? Lunch, listen, this is regular. This is a salad, right? You have, nice green salad. You can put whatever green you want. You can do kale, you can do arugula, but then add some chicken, some protein. Yeah. So chicken or fish, because you want to have that protein at each meal. So protein here.
Yeah, and such a great fiber. Salad dressing. That's where you get in trouble as well. But I love just a little good quality olive oil, a pinch of salt, and
that's right. And you're good to go. Don't drench your salad with salad dressing. And then something like this. So this is a really nice power bowl. You have some sweet potatoes, my favorite, by the way. Some cottage cheese for the protein. Some quinoa. To me, this is a great plate. It's very affordable. Has a lot of nutrients, and it's easy. And then if you're a vegan or vegetarian, this is a great plate for you. Yeah. And my favorite fish of all time, which is salmon. Why? Lots of protein and lots of omega-3 fatty acids. Good for your heart, good for your brain. We got our fiber in our spinach. And these are just some of the examples.
And this can become your potato chip if you want. Because we naturally crave the crunch, right?
Listen, if you're trying to lose 15 pounds in 7 weeks, you got to put the work in. You got to make some choices. So yes, you got to give up the potato chips, but having a cucumber or some carrots with some hummus. Hummus has some protein in it. Notice the theme here. We're putting protein in every meal. If you do these kinds of things, you are going to lose the weight and get the scale moving again.
And protein doesn't always mean meat.
Oh my goodness, say that again.
Protein does not always mean meat.
That's right. There's tons of great non-red meat protein. Though the program allows you to have some red meat, there are reasons why I'm not a big fan of a ton of red meat. But there are a lot of plant protein options for people, non-dairy options, which are really good.
Yeah, and I'm going to round out with, this time of year, we're seeing all those commercials for all the vitamins in the world. That's another thing that people step off into, is they think, okay, I don't really have to eat great food. I can just take the vitamin because it says it has everything in it.
No, you want to also have the food. The food's very important. You want to increase your satiation or your feeling of fullness. In my Facebook group, once again, the last 15 group on Facebook, people can join. You will see all the different tricks that you can do to make this work. And of course on Instagram, some free videos at Dr. Ian Smith, spell it Dr. out Ian Smith. I post all these videos that people can do. 7 minutes cardio.
Give the body what it was made to use for energy and nutrition. Let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. Dr. Ian Smith's book, The Last 15, is available now everywhere books are sold.